Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Sunday, November 18th, 2018. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And somebody's asking why that matters, and it's because our job is to attempt to discern what's actually going on, what are the messages, what are the meanings of life when we take into account the interdimensional nature of reality, what is actually going on, and to report back the results of experiments to those wiser minds above who have sent in the experiments. And therefore it's crucial to be able to discern what's actually going on.
That's true.
And so living by the rules also has an element of integrity involved. If there are standards that are given to the community and we live by them, that's a certain reflection of integrity. And if there are standards given to the community and we don't live by them, that's also a certain reflection of a lack of integrity.
That's true.
Rules matter, and living by the rules matter, and upholding the rules matter. Why do you ask?
I don't hear an answer.
No, I don't hear an answer either, so we're really going to not get derailed by this. Those who are already living by the search for truth rules are welcome here, and the other souls who are present really are at least revealed as not caring about rules and not caring about integrity, actually, we think.
Oh, that's
not
true.
caring about integrity, and also not caring about being able to figure out what's actually going on. Maybe they have positions that they want to defend, and that's really simple. That doesn't really require a lot of brain power.
That's true.
Any fool can have a position and defend it.
That's true.
It's tricky to figure out what's going on and report back to wiser minds above. It's extremely tricky and challenging, and therefore endlessly entertaining. And we think it's wonderful and a wonderful way to spend a life, and it's baffling why that's such a rare position.
That's true.
But we have on the table an assignment.
Yeah.
And the assignment, actually the overarching assignment, is to create worlds that work in all dimensions and for all categories of sentience, since that's
true.
what our soul contracts commit us to doing. And particularly with regard to this dimension known as Ground Zero and this planet known as Planet Earth, the instruction is to avert complete collapse.
That's
and
true.
The wiser minds above say the only way to do that is to reduce human population to, and then there's discrepancy of opinion. Some presences say 2 billion, and other presences say 1/2 of 1 billion.
That's
but
true.
regardless, there's at least 5.5 billion too many humans, and we need to do something about that. And in order to add more challenge to the game, the instruction is to reduce human population to below whatever the limit actually is, while retaining electricity and indoor plumbing and readily available food.
That's true.
And therein lies the challenge. There are presences who say it can be done if only we can break the cycles of corruption and selfishness.
That's true.
And they're highlighting corruption as an inordinately important issue to resolve. And they're saying, oh no, my hand hit you. Oh no, there doesn't seem to be a way of stopping this from happening. When obviously there is a way of stopping it from happening.
That's true.
And what's needed actually is consistent training. Just
That's
as
true.
when one is attempting to housebreak a puppy, meaning teach the puppy to not pee in the house, or poo either,
That's
to
true.
go outside to do the puppy's business. Inside is not a place for that kind of business to occur.
Yeah, that's true.
And the gentle and kind way to train a puppy is known as crate training, because dogs won't generally poop or pee in their bed.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
start with a little crate, and that's where the puppy needs to stay for an hour, and then you take the puppy out and let him or her pee, and then you bring them back and put them in their crate for an hour and a half.
That's
And
true.
then you take the puppy out and let him or her pee, and then you bring it back and put it in the crate for 2 hours, extending the length of time until the puppy quite obviously can hold whatever's going on for a period of time, and
Yeah,
then you
that's true.
test it by letting the puppy be outside in the rest of the house, outside of the crate, but still inside the house for, again, half the length of time. If they test it as being able to hold it for 4 hours, then you only test them for 2 hours in the house, and then you take them out. And that way, when the puppy pees or poops in the house, it's revealed as resistance, not a capacity to handle the assignment.
Yeah, that's true.
And in that case, they go back into the crate, and you have to say, no, 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 and you have to put their nose right in the poo or pee.
That's true.
No, 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 3 times, make it very clear, and put them back in the crate and say, now we have to start again at the beginning, and repeat the process. And the puppy is not stupid and gets it reasonably quickly.
That's true.
And if you think that humans are stupider than puppies, then that would be a good fact to put on the table right now.
It's just quiet upstairs.
It's just quiet upstairs. So all that's needed is a consistency of training and a zero tolerance policy for corruption. And when humans do things that are corrupt, which is pretty much on a daily basis,
That's
to
true.
put their nose in it, say 3 times no, 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 and put them in the crate. The limited life, however you do it, is fine. You could cause them to file bankruptcy, take
That's
away all their
true.
credit, have it go bad for them. There needs to be a consequence to every misstep. It's simple. Just
That's true.
horse trainers can train horses to do things they don't want to do.
That's true.
Dog trainers can do dogs to do things they don't want to do.
That's true.
Are you not able to do your jobs as well as human horse trainers and human dog trainers? That doesn't seem likely. It seems like you could do it.
Yeah,
Can't
it
you?
does.
I can see their point. They're saying, all right, Miss Priss, I think that's what they said. All right, Miss Priss, why don't you train your cells to let go of corruption? Which we think is a valid point.
Yeah,
and
I do.
This actually is in alignment with what keeps coming up in the equine energy healing practice.
That's true.
Is that the guardian angels have got to come into the dimension in question in order to be able to tell what's going on.
That's
And
true.
we know that it's very toxic, and I think what they're saying is it's absolutely out of the question, not because we don't want to, but because it isn't survivable.
That's what they're saying.
And it takes too long to come in and get out. We can't bounce dive that deep, which any scuba diver understands that concept. You can only bounce dive as deep as your tank of air will get you.
That's true.
All right. Well, how about train the ones who can train the ones who can train the ones who can reach here? How about that? But just train them better. Just from wherever you are, reach down as deep as you can and train those presences to let go of corruption. And then require that they do the same and reward their efforts to reduce corruption and have there be consequences for their not making efforts to reduce corruption. How about just start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and maybe corruption will minimize through the dimensions.
Like a chain of training?
Like a chain of training. Are you willing? And, I see what we've left out. Can be confusion about who's speaking. Please look up from where you are, and see that hand way up high, so much higher than where you are. That's who's talking. This is just like a microphone or an echo point.
That's true.
It's more like an echo point.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that voice is beaming in here and back up to you. It's just an echo point. These aren't the people who are speaking. So please look up, and first things first, you might want to apologize for calling that presence Miss Priss. You might want to. I'm not telling you what to do, And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But so noted.
Maybe it would be better if we tried going up higher to these people's supervisors.
Is there anybody up there who really wants to break the cycles of corruption? Is there anybody up there who's already working to break the cycles of corruption? There are some presences working.
I feel that.
They're working at it in their same dimensions, which is valid. Is there anybody working to break the cycles of corruption in deeper, denser dimensions? Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet. What is the purpose of a soul? Because we've noticed that souls are not actually able to do much except potentially inspire a life. They don't seem to be able to get the denser lives to do anything the denser lives don't already want to do.
Oh, that's true.
And they don't seem to be able to generate energy or participate in the energy exercises. They have very little oomph, very little strength, and this isn't new. This was part of the eye-opener of the era of the projects led by Awa Ra, which
That's
was back in 2015
I
maybe,
think so.
where we discovered to everybody's shock and dismay that 6 million souls couldn't get a single humanoid life form to do anything the humanoid didn't already want to do.
That's true.
6 million souls, just once more to really let that sink in, 6 million souls who were very well educated and organized and inspired and supervised and funded, were unable to get one single human life who had oppositional defiant disorder to his soul plan to taking steps toward his soul plan.
That's true.
They couldn't get a single step, not a single action. They got a flicker of thought for less than a second, and that happened a couple of times.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's all they were able to accomplish. So, what is it that souls contribute to the process? Somebody's saying inspiration
That's
and
true.
higher standards of living.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that is supposed to be what happens, and we agree with that.
Yeah,
And we think that in 99.999% of the time that's probably true. And so
That's
then
true.
can you please start inspiring presences to stop being so corrupt? There is a little bit of whininess. It's like, how can you be so rude about us after all that we've been through together?
Yeah, I feel that feeling.
The thing is, we've been asking this question off the record and behind the scenes for many months now.
That's true.
Is that we get it about the limitations in working in deeper, denser dimensions. We really do. But are you satisfied with being parasites? Or do you want to actually contribute to the process? And if so, what is it that the souls contribute? And all that keeps coming back is inspiration.
That's true.
Well, friends, we know that lives are directed from above. We actually know that to be true. And why not be willing to train a little bit more proactively? And they're saying we are training. And in the long run, we believe that to be true
That's
because
true.
of the cycles of reincarnation. But we think you're overestimating the intellectual capacity of at least humans.
I think that's true.
Because nobody's reacting as if it's effective. It's ineffective. What do I know? I know with training a puppy, you have to catch them right away. You can't let them pee and poo and wait 8 hours until you get home from work to deal with it. It doesn't work. You have to catch them right away. It has to be right, immediate feedback. They need the feedback. And we don't think that humans are actually smarter than dogs. We
No,
think
I
they're
don't.
differently abled.
That's true.
But they also need immediate feedback. We all need immediate feedback.
That's true.
You can't wait for a lifetime. It's way, 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 way too long. Especially in these societies that deny reincarnation,
That's
which
true.
is demented, but it does still happen. It's ineffective. You have to get them in the same lifetime, and really it needs to be much more immediate than that. It really
That's
needs
true.
to actually kind of be right away so that they're aware that lightning just struck,
Yes, that's true.
so that they can connect the dots from their corrupt action to the thing that they didn't want to have happen.
Yes.
I, corrupt person, took a corrupt action, and this really unfortunate occurrence occurred. Maybe I'll think twice before taking a corrupt action next time.
That's true.
That's the outcome we're hoping for, a diminishment of corruption. For whom is the message, and why do you ask? I don't have anything else to add to that.
No.
I'm not going to diminish it. Come on, guys.
It's wrapping. I don't have anything better.
That's it. That's it. Nothing's going to change until we start changing. Until every we starts changing. I'm not going to even put that up. Friends, you guys have had enough. No. We say no. It sounds like Pan.
Yeah, it does.